All right, let's talk about success. But forget luck, forget shortcuts. We're going to break down 9 simple, powerful rules that can literally change your life. Ready? Let's dive in. You ever look around and notice something kind of strange? You see people who, well, they just seem stuck for years, right? Same income, same way of thinking, always the same excuses. But then there are other people, and somehow they grow, they change, they move forward.
So what gives? What is the real difference here? What separates those two paths? It's a huge question, right? But the answer? It's actually way simpler than you think.
Here it is. It's daily discipline. It's got nothing to do with being the smartest person in the room or where you started out. The real secret sauce? It's just daily discipline. Success isn't some big, flashy event. Nope. It's built from all the tiny, consistent choices you make every single day.
Okay, so let's break that down. First up, we need to talk about the engine. What I mean is the core actions of daily discipline that really drive everything forward. So here are the first 3 big ones, the rules that really power your growth. 1. Respect your time. 2. Practice daily. And 3. This little bit of magic, improving just 1% every single day. Let's kick things off with the most important resource you've got.
Rule number 1 is huge. Respect your time. Seriously. Think about it. You can always go out and make more money, right? But time, once it's gone forever. It is the one thing you can't get back. It's your most valuable, non-renewable resource, period. And yet, man, it's so easy to let it slip away, isn't it? We all say we want to succeed, but then we blink and we've lost hours just scrolling or complaining or doing stuff that, well, doesn't matter. Time just quietly disappears. And before you know it, a whole year is gone and you're left wondering where it went. Here's the deal. When you protect your time, you are literally protecting your future.
Okay, rule number 2 builds right on top of that. Practice daily. And listen, the goal here is not to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. The goal is to get strong, because every time you repeat something, the fear gets smaller and your confidence gets bigger. It really is that simple. And that leads us right into rule number 3. Improve just 1% every day. You don't need some huge life-altering change overnight. No way. Just focus on being 1 tiny percent better. Because that little daily improvement, it kicks off this incredible power of compounding, and it builds into something massive over time. I'm telling you, this is the hidden secret behind pretty much every big success story you can think of.
All right, so now we've got the engine, right? Those daily actions. But an engine can't run without fuel, and that's where the mindset comes in. So let's talk about your inner game. Okay, picture this. Something goes wrong. What's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, it's this. And let me tell you, saying that, it's like handing over all your power. It immediately puts you in the victim seat and just slams the door on finding a solution. But what if you chose to see it differently? What if this was your reaction? This brings us to rule number 4. Your attitude controls your results. It's the exact same situation, but this mindset, this one opens the door to growth. It turns a total roadblock into a lesson, maybe even an opportunity.
This leads perfectly into rule number 5, build confidence. And I'm not talking about the loud, flashy kind of confidence. Nah. Real confidence, it's a quiet belief deep inside you. It's that calm little voice that just says, you know what? I can handle this. So how do you get that voice? You build it with action. More specifically, you build it by keeping the tiny promises you make to yourself. Like if you say you're going to work for just 20 minutes and then you actually do it, boom. You just built a little bit of self-trust. It's those small wins stacked up over time that create that rock-solid, unshakable confidence.
And that brings us to the next crucial mindset piece. Rule number 6. You have to believe in yourself. Because if you don't, you're never even going to take that first step. See, belief isn't some magical feeling that just appears. It's a decision. You decide to believe. You don't need to be 100% confident. You just need enough courage to start. Okay, so we've got the actions, the engine. We've got the mindset, the fuel. Now let's talk about the road itself, the path. How do you actually navigate this long and, let's be honest, sometimes really difficult journey?
Some days you're going to feel amazing. You're energized, you're on fire, you give it everything you've got, 100%. And that's awesome. That's the goal, right?
But we all know it's not always like that. Some days you're just tired. Progress feels like you're dragging your feet through mud. And on those days, it is absolutely okay
to not give 100%. Maybe all you've got is 20. And then there are the really rough days, where maybe it's only 5%. And this right here, this is the heart of rule number 7. 5% is better than 0%. Let that sink in. 5% is infinitely better than stopping cold. Most people don't fail because they're weak, they fail because they just give up. The secret is to keep moving forward no matter how ridiculously small that step feels.
So as you're moving down this path, guess what? The world around you is going to change. It always does. That's rule number 8. Adapt. Look, change can be uncomfortable. I get it. But if you refuse to learn new things, you're just going to get left behind. Being flexible, being able to pivot, that's what keeps you in the game.
And that brings us to our last rule, number 9. Be patient. This little equation says it all. Real, meaningful growth just takes time. So many people quit right before their breakthrough because they want results now. You have to keep putting in the work, keep taking action, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Patience plus action, that is the formula.
So, when you take all of these rules, the daily engine, that inner mindset, and the grit to just stay on the path, what do you get? What's the result? Well, it's a complete shift in how you think about success itself. One day, you're going to look back and it will all make sense. You'll realize you weren't lucky. You were consistent. You didn't just find success somewhere, you built it, brick by brick, step by step, day after day. So there's really only one question left. When are you going to lay that first brick? The answer couldn't be simpler. Start today, not tomorrow, because everything that comes next, your entire future, it all depends on the small choices you make right now.